This program is brought to you by Link TV for educational and non-commercial use only.
US death toll in Iraq rises dramatically in October. President Bush says we are winning the war.
Absolutely, we're winning.
Why are Arabs obsessing over the US elections? These headlines and more on this Mosaic Intelligence Report.
Speaking in the East Room of the White House this week, President George W. Bush said that the U.S. was taking heavy casualties in Iraq. Stating his concern, he said,
I know many Americans are not satisfied with the situation in Iraq. I'm not satisfied either.
What prompted President Bush to make this candid statement was the inescapable fact that more than 100 American soldiers have been killed in October alone, in the worst monthly toll in a year, and that Americans will decide the fate of his party in the voting booths in the next few days. Nevertheless, the president did not abandon his insistence that the U.S. is still winning the war in Iraq.
Do you think we're winning, and why?
Absolutely, we're winning.
Absolutely, we're winning, he said. As a matter of fact, my view is the only way we lose in Iraq is if we leave before the job is done. But are we really winning? If we're talking about the loss of less than 3,000 US troops in 3 years of conflict, then perhaps we are winning the war on the insurgents. The problem with this is the fact that US military experts never take into account the tens of thousands of Iraqis who have died since the invasion, nor do they consider the level of resentment it has generated against the US in the region. Recently, I have also noticed a rise in the use of the V word. Both the administration and its adversaries in the Democratic Party have been drawing parallels between the war in Iraq and Vietnam. Iraq is not Vietnam. It has become the old Afghanistan during the Soviet era, a magnet for Islamic extremists who want to fulfill their jihadist duties by expelling the US out of Arabia. There is perhaps one similarity, though, between Iraq and Vietnam. Just as Vietnam became a hot issue in the US elections, so too has Iraq in the current US elections. Even President Bush thinks the insurgents could affect the outcome of the midterms, claiming that the rise in violence during Ramadan is designed to impact voting here. An interesting phenomenon in the Arab press is that an unusual amount of attention has been paid to these US elections on November 7. The stakes are high for Bush. A third of the Senate and 36 state governorships are being contested. But why are Arabs so obsessed with the congressional midterm elections? Many Arabs and Iranians are worrying that Bush might attack Iran by air and sea just before the elections to prove to his domestic audience that his party is best at preserving and protecting our way of life, thereby ensuring a Republican victory in Congress. Critics say that such an attack would have a devastating effect on world opinion, but the Bush administration has scant interest in that. I say Arabs should pay more attention to their own elections or lack thereof. I'm Jamal Dajani for Mosaic Intelligence Report. To learn more about Mosaic or to share your thoughts, log on to linktv.org/mirblog.
This program was brought to you by Link TV for educational and non-commercial use only. Link TV is the only U.S. television network devoted to global and national news, with uncompromising documentaries and diverse cultural programs which connect you to the world.